Didn't we premiere on a Friday, guys? I'm pretty sure we did.
Yeah.
I got married. Like on a Monday, and then on a Friday, I-Man came out. So it was like the best week of my life. So it was great. And I can't.
So it held up. You liked it?
Oh, exactly.
The first half holds up phenomenally. It's so good. It's so tight. It's a proto Marvel movie. You know, like you are funny and self-deprecating and everything just flows, and you are the Ant-Man, and you know like all those prototypical superhero, you know, comic book types quipping away. The second half's pretty good too. Paul gives it quite a boost when he shows up. But the whole thing's still great, and so I really enjoyed it. It was fun.
Pride.
Last month, a Noble sperm bank was burglarized.
The national assets are stolen.
Counterterrorism, sperm retrieval.
Little guys were stolen. You two are gonna bring them back home.
Can't wait to put this job on my resume.
It's part of a plan to improve the breed.
He's gonna turn people into geniuses.
Starting with Bobby Hobbs.
What?
The Invisible Man, a sci-fi original series. Disappearing next Monday at 9.
This is Syfy.
You.
My name is Nick.
I'm RJ.
And I was the original I-Man fan between the two of us. I had a friend who was really into Prey and got into I-Man after that and dragged me into it. And I wasn't exactly kicking and screaming the entire time. I had a great time. I mean, I still think it's one of the best sci-fi shows of the past few decades, period. It's really impressive to me how, like, especially we rewatched it recently, and how right out the gate the episodes were perfectly written. The actors had great chemistry, worked really well with each other. Usually you expect a show to give people some time to actually get into the characters, but it felt like everybody was on point from the very beginning. And I have been a prophet in the wilderness hollering about the show ever since.
Yes. I joined the fandom much later. I've been hearing about it for 20 years from said prophet. And every time we tried to find it, we couldn't find it, or we couldn't find the whole thing, or we couldn't find some place to rent it to us or stream it. So a couple of years ago, we had a good friend who passed away and had given us all of his sci-fi memorabilia here in Spain. And funnily enough, we happened to get this in the... So I'm a recent convert. I started watching about a year ago, and I really love it. I instantly fell in love with the premise of the show. It was from an era that I remember fondly watching a lot of sci-fi and enjoying. So it was pretty great to come into it late, although I kind of wish I had started out a little earlier.
It's got a terrific fan base to this day, even though, I mean, what did it go? Did it go 2 seasons or 3 seasons? Two seasons.
Yeah.
And I remember, because I came on season 1, I think I recurred through season 1 and 2.
Yeah.
And I remember I was eager to direct, and it was on that show that they told me, when we come back for season 3, you're going to be directing. And, you know, it didn't come to pass. But I had a great experience working on that show. I'd known Vince before that and loved watching him get the lead on a show. And Paul Ben Victor I've known forever, and Mike, and you know, and the great Eddie Jones. That was a very fun show to work on, and people still remember me from that too, which is very nice. It's a great little sort of niche genre show that I think deserves more love.
Invisible Man.
Before Arno left, he gave me the cure for Quicksilver madness.
A miraculous cure.
I warned you.
Brings Darien newfound freedom.
Quicksilver is our technology.
But when Chrysalis goes buggy...
Actually, a swarm of locusts is really easy to spot.
Well, not if they're invisible.
He's back on the case.
You're still working for me.
I feel icky.
On an all-new Invisible Man next week.
There once was a story about a man who could turn invisible. I thought it was only a story, until it happened to me. Okay, so here's how it works. There's this stuff called quicksilver that can bend light. Some scientists made it into a synthetic gland, and that's where I came in. See, I was facing life in prison, and they were looking for a human experiment. So we made a deal. They put the gland in my brain, I walked free. The operation was a success, but that's where everything started to go wrong.
Hi, folks. My name is Michael, and I want to talk to you about some of my tattoos, specifically the one that I have that is an homage to the show The Invisible Man. I started my tattoo journey when I was 18 years old with the intention of getting one every year to commemorate my greatest victories or greatest defeats, whichever it is. And I remember watching The Invisible Man when it first came out, recording every single episode on several VHS tapes, watching them over and over again until the tapes degraded. Um, I've loved that show my entire life, and one of the greatest things that it ever gave me was it actually was the reason why I stopped being terrified of needles as a child. Going to the hospital, having to get blood drawn was a terrifying experience for me, and once I saw Darian getting a shot every episode and realizing that that was something that he didn't really want to do, but he had to do it anyway, and it was something that he was, you know, not really fond of having to do, but was very happy whenever he had to do it. It kind of gave me like a hero to look up to. And every time I went to go get blood drawn after that, or if I ever needed, some sort of medication, I always kind of thought to myself, like, I was just being like Darian, it's fine. And I actually did get over my crippling fear of needles as a child because of that show. And so to commemorate that particular victory, I got a tattoo of the Ouroboros from the show, but I kind of took my own twist on it. I streamlined it, and I specifically told my tattoo artist to color the tattoo only 1/3 red and the rest of it green because it functions like a pressure gauge. And in times of great stress, which happens to me pretty often, I like to look at this tattoo and it reminds me that, oh, wait, I have time. It's only a third red. I've got plenty of time. Think, breathe, act rationally. It is a cathartic tattoo that has helped me maintain my calm and fight anxiety ever since I got it when I was, I think, 23 years old. I'm very proud of this tattoo, to the fact that it is sitting right next to my other tattoo that I am very proud of. It is a semicolon watercolor tattoo. So basically that's my story. I've loved this show ever since I can remember, and I'm really glad that it's a part of my life and it stays a part of my headspace even late into my 30s.
The Invisible Man, 2000, was one of the first television series to foster an online community of fans. Little did I know how much I would need that community when I started watching it in its second season. Suffice it to say that I-Man and its fans helped me get through the trauma and stress of a divorce. They were a part of my support community, and they helped me see my way through to hope again. I value the friendships made because of this show. For this reason, the show, its cast and crew, and the fans will always have a place in my heart. Thank you, all of you.
See what you've been missing.
If you must know, I was pardoned by a secret intelligence agency who surgically implanted a gland in my brain to turn me into a super agent.
The Invisible Man chain reaction.
Oh my... Oh, shit!
4 back-to-back episodes. Disappearing tomorrow at 7 Eastern and Pacific on Syfy.
My favorite memory of the Invisible Man is being a part of the bulletin board community at syfy.com. During that first year, we became like family. We'd meet on Friday nights and talk about the episodes. We started Yahoo groups. We did online chats. It was just so much fun. One day, somebody posted that they'd heard the cast was going to be at the San Diego Comic-Con in July. And they said, "Who's going?" It turned out 60 of us were going. 24 of us got in on Wednesday because we wanted to see the preview night, and the rest were coming in Friday because the cast would be there on Saturday. When preview night was over, Pam got a call from Mike McCafferty telling her he'd managed to set up the set visit for us. To say we were excited is an understatement. When we talked to the people who had driven in to see how many they could put in their cars, we found out we were a car shy. So we called Enterprise to find out how much it cost to rent a car, and figured out that if everybody chipped in $5, we could afford that car. You never saw so many $5 bills flying through the air, landing on a table, as you did in that motel room. When we got to the set, we saw Josh Props, and he gave us a tour of the props in his truck. We saw the padded cell. We went through the makeup trailer where Jules stamped all of our wrists with the snake tattoo, which we colored in later with colored Sharpies to show how Quicksilver mad we were. Then we found ourselves outside of the official's office. Then they took us to the keep, and then they took us outside, and they said the cast would be out shortly. Vince was the first to arrive, and he looked a little nervous. So I walked up to him and I said, "Hi, I'm Joyce. I'm Invisible Mom." And he said, "I know you." So someone else walked up to him and did the same thing. He's like, "I know you." And so suddenly it wasn't so scary. He wasn't meeting a bunch of strangers. He was meeting a bunch of friends. And then when the rest of the cast came out, the same thing happened. And suddenly everybody was all relaxed and having a good time because we were all just friends. So we took a lot of pictures. We got autographs. We talked a lot. Vince invited us to stay for lunch. We went over to get something to eat. We took some more pictures. We did some more talking. And then someone from the set came and said, "You guys got to get back to work." And they're like, yeah, in a minute. We need to get a group picture. So we all got together and we took the group picture. And he said, "Okay, guys, you really have to come back to the set now." And they're like, yeah, in a minute. And we're realizing that we need to go so these guys can get back to work. So we thanked them for having us and for making such an awesome experience and wished them well, and we left. And I have to say, it was the most surreal, wonderful day ever, and I'm so glad I was one of the 24.
Yeah.
And that was an interesting experience because I had already done Star Trek when I was doing The Invisible Man. Now on Star Trek, policy was the actors had to say every word that was on the page and could never deviate one syllable from what was written on the page. Now we could make sounds or have choices about how we said the words, but the words had to be dead letter perfect. We were shooting a scene in The Invisible Man that I was sitting there, and one of the two actors, forgive me, I just saw his picture and I've forgotten his name, went off on a tear, just started ad-libbing about stuff, and had like a 6-minute monologue about cannoli, as I remember. And the director finally stopped him and said, well, whose line is it? And I said, or whose cue is that? And I said, it's mine, but my line has nothing to do with cannoli. I can't begin to say the line connected to what he just said. But which was not allowed on any of the Star Trek shows that
unheard of. Yeah.
Not on any of the shows I've ever done,
right,
except that one. And that was a rather new and terrifying experience.